And I always tell him that the respect I give to you as my husband, not as my elder person. Okay, I don't respect you because you're older than me. I respect you because you are my head. You understand? So the age has never been an issue for us. A moment of anger does not define your husband. It does not define your wife. A moment of weakness does not define who he is or does not define who she is. Okay?
You can't define a person by one thing.
Hi guys, welcome again. So we didn't go anywhere. We're still here and we're still answering your questions. If you've been enjoying the conversation so far, let me know in the comment section below. So we're continuing with answering some of the questions that you guys have asked. Okay, now the next question, same guy asked, Jacob. He said, through the time Yao, he's married.
You're married.
Is there a time you don't feel for one another? And if yes, what types of activity of stuff do you do to one another to keep the fire going in your marriage? So many people actually said they wanted to know the answer to this question. So in a 1 year of marriage, almost 1 year of marriage, has there been every time that you didn't feel so much in love with me, or you didn't feel love for me at all?
Okay, I'm going to answer this question in two ways.
Yeah.
And this is the first part. Affection and emotion, it fluctuates.
Yeah, true.
So, like everything, it's just like every human aspect, affection and emotion fluctuates. There's a cloth, there's something you like. There's a moment when you really like it. There's a moment when you like it. The thing is constant. It's not at the peak it used to be. And then it goes down, and then it goes back to the peak. It's the same way with your affection for your partner. However, what you must prevent yourself from doing or becoming is that the least standard must not be beyond a certain limit. You must ensure that it never crosses certain limits. So that's one of the reasons why I say that you have to keep it at the back of your mind in your relationship, that what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, and all that, for what purpose? Am I doing it in order to improve the relationship or not? When we're quarreling, I think it was in an earlier question. So affection will rise, it will fall, but be your partner's check. Be your partner's check. Be your own check too, and your partner too. I mean, have the agreement that both of you will be checking on each other. So sometimes when you discover what makes this thing rise and fall per time is different things. It might even be something that is unrelated to your partner. It might be work. It might be pressure from some other aspect. You just be like that. But you have to understand. So there are times when I notice my wife's mood is down. I start dancing. I start playing differently.
Is that tickling me? Start pushing me all around the house?
I can back her and be carrying her all through the house. I can drag her literally that, okay, no, you must follow me.
When I was talking about annoying in the game, those are the annoying
you
stuff.
You must follow me, I'm going this, you will follow me. And I noticed that her mood is down. And for whatever reason, sometimes you don't need to understand the reason. So all of those things helps to, bring things back and restore the equilibrium. If I can call it that, because it will happen. And there are moments when I'm down and she's asking what's wrong. Well, and I'm the kind of person that nothing is wrong. Nothing can ever be wrong. Before I can even tell you what is wrong.
It cannot be wrong. You have to press. Okay, something is wrong.
Do you understand? So you have to act as each other's check.
I'm just having a headache. I'm having migraine.
You have to then be each other's check and all that one. You just have to understand, like for me, I think she once asked me playfully if there are moments when I feel like I don't. And I told her that as far as I'm concerned, I know the level at which my love is. Now it can increase, the affection, emotion can increase, that I'm all lovey-dovey at a point in time more than some other times. But I know that I cannot cross certain lines. It's impossible, at least physically speaking, humanly speaking, God helping me. So so anything that will make it cross those lines, as long as those things are not happening. So what's it? But your affection, your display of affection and all that can't be at the same level. It's impossible.
The time,
the travails, challenges of life cannot allow it. and even you, because mood fluctuates, it can't be that
even
way.
external things. Sometimes
Yes.
it's not because of the two of you,
Yes,
what he did
so
or what she did.
it might be work. Someone may offend you.
might
Someone
be
may.
hormones.
Yes, for women especially,
Yeah.
hormones
I
is
remember this
a
day.
big deal.
Remember that day in the morning, and I woke up, I was crying. My husband was like, Kini Moshe,
What did I
what
do?
did I do?
Have
Did I say
done
something?
anything? Okay,
Is
I'm
it what
sorry.
I did yesterday?
I'm really sorry.
And honestly, I
And she
didn't
said,
know.
it's not you. But I don't know. I said, okay, I'm still sorry. I know it's not me,
Yeah.
but I'm still sorry.
Yeah.
Why? So it comes from understanding, like, if this had happened years back, if I was married some 5 years ago and all that, I probably would have taken it personal. But
Yeah.
that morning, I don't know, I knew that
Yeah.
I just needed to play the role. I needed to be understanding. I needed to be there.
Yeah.
And that's all I did. And that's all that will happen. You just have to understand that it's like that. It will happen.
And sometimes you won't get it, or my husband doesn't get it all the time, okay?
Because
my husband always wants to know, what did I do? Something is wrong. When I tell her, babe, like, listen, I was just praying, that's why I'm emotional. I'll be like, why are you emotional when you're praying? I'm like, don't you cry when you pray? Like, why are you crying when you're praying?
I only cry when I'm worshiping.
But he would,
I can't be praying.
He would always say that, but that's weird. Like, are you sure? He would go and say, are you sure? Tomorrow he ask me, are you sure?
And the reason I ask is that I've always also found that women sometimes will not tell you what you want to hear when you ask once.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
that's
you have
true.
to ask.
You have to keep on asking.
So there's no hard and fast rule. The same thing you asked yesterday and you ask twice and they answer you. Tomorrow you ask 5 times, they won't still answer you. So
yeah, the extra one time.
so sometimes until I satisfy my conscience, like sometimes when I ask and she now gets upset that I said there's nothing, and then in my head I try. I'm like, Moti, try and sing. Tomorrow you cannot say I did not ask you. Yeah. So
anyways,
do you understand? So it's not, you just have to, and all that. Like for instance, I also have to understand what my wife likes. Like she has made it clear, I'm an indoor person. I'm not so overt with certain things, going out, hanging out, having special moments. She's the one teaching me literally. Yes. So if you see us do stuff like that and howling and saying, oh, lovely, she's the one behind it, honestly speaking. True. So, and you have to understand that, and there are moments like that I have to do those things. Not because not like I don't like them, but it's not something I'll think of ordinarily.
That's the reason.
It's not something I'll think of ordinarily.
Yeah,
so
true.
Now you have to, do all those things. And after a while, you get used to it. Like her last birthday, I'd asked her, do you want this? She said no. Do you want that? She said no.
And
but I know her enough to know that she needs stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I did it. And thank God, I scored a good goal with that one. And I'm also conscious. I'm also self-aware enough to know that there'll be days I'll still do that and I'll miss it.
Yeah, true.
Do you understand? So you just have to keep doing different things that will make your partner satisfied.
Wow, that was a lot. I don't even know what to say anymore. But as usual. Oh, God, pause. Thank you so much. Anyways, have I ever felt like, my husband has a limit. I don't have limits, okay? I can't, I know in this our marriage, I've looked at my husband, I'm like, sometimes it's, maybe he annoyed me, some of those small things that will blow out of pressure. Sometimes it's big things, okay? I don't think there's any big thing that has happened since we got married. It's just like literally things you can resolve. But, then it gets big and just look at this person, I'm like, who are you? Like, I don't even know you. Like, what? I literally look at him and I'm disgusted.
And she does not even want to look at me.
I don't want to look. I can't look at him in the eyes because I feel so, like, you don't understand. That's me. Like, the level at which I love you, I can hate you at the same level. You get. But I've never hated him. I don't hate him. Even when I'm upset, I'm not upset at who he is now. I'm upset at when he offends me, okay? That person he is, okay, at that moment when he was upset or angry or saying stuff, that is the image that will always be in my head. Today, I can't look at him because I know that when I look at him and I see the person that I know he is, all those anger will go down. But because I'm not ready to let that anger go, right, I will keep remembering that thing he did. I keep replaying it, and it's not good. It's not healthy, okay? It's not healthy. I had to learn, that sometimes just let it go. Just forget it as if it never happened. Just let it go, okay? It's easier said than done. But yes, have I had that feeling? Yes. But how did we eventually go back? Like I said, whatever happened is a moment, and you need to understand that because your husband, because my husband was angry at a point and he did or said something, doesn't mean that is who he is, okay? A moment of anger does not define your husband. It does not define your wife. A moment of weakness does not define who he is or does not define who she is, okay?
You can't define a person by one thing.
Yeah, by one thing. My husband always repeats that thing to me, you know. So and the moment that thing goes and he comes back and he says, hey, babe, you know, sometimes even whilst we are trying to resolve things, we fight, you know. Whilst we're trying to resolve it, we are fighting, you understand? And eventually we'll come back again. You just keep trying. And the moment, you know, you see that, okay, fine, no need to excuse. Personally, if you want to apologize to me, don't come and be giving me excuse. Just apologize and let it go. That's me. It's my husband that likes explanation. Me, don't explain. Just say you're sorry. Because to me, you explaining means you are giving excuse and you still think what you did is right. You understand? So eventually you get to know, like I said, the person has to apologize properly. And when he does that or when I do that, you know, eventually one person goes tire. That's the thing. You can't both be in the same house. Even those days I told you that we're here 3 days, we're not talking to each other. You think it was easy? It was not easy now. Passing each other every day and doing like, it is a body know they do me when he touch me or, you know, and stuff like that. And I think it was the same for him too. You will get tired, okay? The two of you are gonna get tired. It's just a matter of who go first break. You understand? I don't want to be the first to break. He doesn't want to be the first to break.
Okay, I think I want to add something. When you set up stuff that you do together by default, that makes it difficult to stay perpetually angry. You,
like maybe
you eat together. Yeah. I know of a Funke Adejumo. She said they lay the bed together.
Yeah.
Herself and her husband. So every morning, as long as they are in the same place, the same location, they must. So you set up those things. Maybe you pray together, you eat together. You do these things together or do that together.
So if you're angry, you're not angry. So you're still gonna do it.
You understand? So it makes it a bit cumbersome if I'm angry with you and they say, okay, babe, let's pray. Oh yeah, or let's hold each other's hand. I mean, there's as much as you can do stuff normally with anger in you. If it is something that both of you do together. So find things like common things that you always do together to help you, you know, find your way back to each other and, you know, diffuse the tension. Like, and as long as you know that, as long as you never get to a place where you stop caring or stop bothering about your partner, you are fine.
That's the thing. Because even in my anger, even in my righteous anger, so to speak, you understand, I still want him to eat. Like, I still want him to be fed. I still want him to go to bed early. And I know if I'm upset and I come to the parlor to sit down, my husband will not sleep. He will come to the parlor and sit down with me. Like, is that bad? And sometimes it's really annoying because sometimes I just need my space. But I know for a fact that if I don't sleep, he's not going to. If I don't eat, if we don't eat together, he's not going to eat. So because I still, even in my anger, I still want him fed. I still want him to have a good sleep. I still want him to be early to work, you know, and all of that. I have to just do something. Sometimes I'm doing it out of anger. I'm eating with him out of anger. I'm sleeping on the same bed with him out of anger. But at the end of the day,
that's the day she will cook water. What she knows I don't want to eat.
Yes. No, what I don't want to eat.
And that's what I'm saying now. You now cook different things. You now cook your own.
Yes, because I don't eat sebo. That's why I'm not cook sebo for it. Because normally I will not cook sebo. But I'll cook it because he knows I don't eat sebo. My husband says it's a lie. Go and do your eba and put it in this place. We eat it together. So you understand? Yeah, I really love that point. So yeah, I mean, there'll be times like that. But at the end of the day, just know that, you know, what brings you together is more than what divides you. And one situation does not define who your partner is. And knowing that, hey, come on, and you know, you to make that effort. You know, when it comes to hold me in the bed, like I say, well, all things are passed away. All things have become new. But when you are avoiding me, well, that argument go last. You understand? But at the end of the day, somebody will still break. Okay, so yeah, my battery is low. So let's see if we can, you know, do this. This one say, how are you able to convince each other to wait until the wedding? I think we already discussed, you know, that. What is the age difference between you? And was that ever a problem for us? I will discuss that later. Since you guys did not indulge in, you know, doing the do, was it awkward when you guys eventually got married? I think I did discuss that in awkward wedding night, right? Yes, it would definitely be awkward, you know, the first time you're meeting your husband or your partner, right?
Even if both of you were sexually active before you got married, as long as it's your first time together, there's the level or degree of awkwardness there, so.
Like getting naked in front of him, you know, do I look good enough? You know, am I skinnier in person? Is my tummy bigger in person? You understand? There'll be all those insecurities, but yeah, it's always awkward the first time, okay? Gift said, and what's the age? Okay, sorry. SC Destiny said, Honestly, I would like to know how you both maintain your spiritual life and how your marriage affects it. How we both maintain our spiritual life.
And he said, as marriage increased or decreased?
Decreased it, yes. And I love you guys. We love you too.
I think marriage increased our spiritual life in its own way. I don't know. We've both been spiritual persons on a different level.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we were getting closer to our wedding, we had some spiritual programs and exercises that we're doing together and all that. She has certain messages, preachers she likes listening to.
Yeah.
I have some that I like listening to.
Yeah.
When I feel like she needs to hear something, I exchange with her, she exchange with me, and all that and all that. But the most important thing is we know that our faith life is interwoven into our union. So it was a no-brainer. It has to continue. It has to improve. And so my marriage or our marriage hasn't reduced our spiritual life. It hasn't reduced our test or knowledge for God or trying to know the things of God. If anything, it's helping us. I mean, what else should keep us away before in the first place? I mean, if you were married, you could say the distractions should keep you, but you are married now, so what else? I don't know, maybe for other people, but I think it's an improvement. The only thing you can now say is that in terms of priority, let's say for instance, if you're active in church, in department and all that ones, your family comes first.
Yes,
now
always.
I mean, in hierarchy, it is God, family, church.
Even the Bible says that a married woman or a married person is always concerned about the affection of her families first. That's why the Bible says that serve God when you're young. Like, I cannot emphasize that. See, my youth, I dedicated my youth to God's service. Like, when I was in school, from school to church, that's the only thing I knew. I was always giving my all to God. You understand? Because that was when I was going to say, are you done? Sorry.
No, continue.
You know, I was going to say that, yes, it's true. Marriage did not reduce it, but marriage did affect it, okay? Marriage will affect your spiritual life because when I usually wake up in the morning to have my quiet time, it's not like my husband is stopping me from doing it, but things have changed, you understand? Now, it's not about, I don't go to bed whenever I feel like it. It's not like it will stop me, but sometimes, you know, you have your marital duties to perform sometimes. You know, sometimes you just get tired from, sometimes I don't need to cook when I get home, I just buy food, but now I need to cook for my husband. Sometimes I get really exhausted. Sometimes I finish cooking around 10, around 11, okay, because I know I like to cook in the night. So, you know, sometimes and then you sleep and more responsibilities and everything. Let me give you an illustration. For instance, if on your own you were married, you could wake up spontaneously and burst into tongues just like
and start, you know, it's only you, nobody is disturbed. But when you're married, you learn to wake up quietly and quietly leave the place and go and pray somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, those dynamics.
And I'll be hearing someone's voice like, oh, is my husband praying somewhere in the toilets? You're in the visitor's toilets, not even in the living room, because he's very conscious of me. And it's the same thing. When I'm praying now, sometimes I'm the person that any little noise gets me distracted. So I'm also thinking, I hope I'm not disturbing him. I hope he's sleeping because I want him to wake up early and stuff like that. So it will affect it. But the effect should not be so bad that your spiritual life is now down because you are now married. Okay. Yes, your obligations in church and everything might reduce. Okay, but spiritually our connection with God now, you know, the Bible says that one will chase 1,000. 2 will chase 10,000. So if what I am chasing when I'm single and we are both not chasing it, not that we are married, then something is wrong. So I believe that now we can go hold hands together. We can always pray when I need something or I'm depressed or something, I just go to God and I pray. But now, you know, I have someone I can agree with in prayer, someone that can actually help me when I'm feeling down. You know, when I don't feel like praying in the morning, we have morning prayer. Sometimes I just want to sleep. My husband will stand up and start praying all around the room. Maybe I'll be sleeping while my husband is praying. So you understand? So because of that, sometimes I don't feel like it, but because he's awake.
Because iron sharpens iron. There are sometimes you are tired. You know you should pray. You want to sleep.
Yeah.
But when your partner is praying,
sure, you will not be sleeping. Are you the witch they say?
Sometimes you want to ignore. You want to be like,
you want to board.
But after a while, you just be like,
Holy Spirit come to you and say, Amanda, you're not in prayer, you're sleeping. You understand?
So that's the idea.
So yeah, that's the idea. The moment the two of you are in faith, you're supposed to help each other, you know, to be better in your relationship with God. But it's true, you'll be distracted by other things. But as far as you guys can always help each other to find your way back to God, that's awesome. Okay, I think it's okay. No, I think that's the only question he asked. And then this one says, how old are you when you met him, and how old was he? What's your own at this age thing? I was in my early 20s when I met my husband. He was in his early 30s when we met. Okay. This one says that, were you scared of marriage? The same person. Have you started to tell them, Abby? Esther Ikede said, were you scared of marriage, getting married or getting married early? I was the one who got married early. But were you scared of my husband was already ready. He was ready before he met me. When my husband met me, every time I was like, I want to get married and stuff. But yes, I was scared when we just met, because my husband literally our very first time told me this is when I want to get married, and I knew I was not ready. My sister was not even married. You understand? So I knew, like, that was one of the reasons why my other sister, I was like, God, I'm not sure I'm ready. So I was definitely scared. But I think I already mentioned it in one of our videos that, he said, let's just go. You understand? Whatever you want to achieve in those years, you never can tell, and all of that. So, and God being so good, even though we planned on marrying the very next day, it took us 4 years to get there. You understand?
I promised her that whatever she wants to achieve,
he was there to support.
It's going to be double.
Yeah, and he's too true. Like, he's too true. My husband would literally support me anything that I want to do. So he made the decision to marry him easy, because now it was not a matter of do I want to get married early. It was a matter of do I want to lose this man. You understand? So it now became that. So that was a more important question to me. And yes, initially it was a bit scary, but when I saw the person I want to get married, and I'm like, is he really worth it? Yes, he is worth it, and I don't want to lose this opportunity and all of that. So what?
He said, I don't want to lose. He said, I don't want to
lose this opportunity. Sorry. So the question was bigger for me. And she said, did you guys always talk about the future in your the future that is our marriage, or you waited until after the relationship, until the relationship had reached a certain level before you talked about it? If you waited, at what point did you guys start the conversation? We talked about our future from the very first day we started dating. And that's how you know someone that is serious about you. Okay, he knows where you are going, and is always futuristic in his conversation with you, right, babe?
Yes.
So we always discuss our future from the beginning, the middle, everywhere.
Yes.
Even now we are still discussing our future of the relationship.
I think there are two ways to a relationship. Sometimes you start a relationship before you discuss the future. I don't advise it at certain age and stage. I don't believe in exploratory relationship at certain age and stage. But if you have that, doesn't mean something is wrong with it. And the dynamics are always different. So if you start a relationship and then later you find out, oh, this is just awesome, this is the best person, you can, switch the gear. And then sometimes you already know from the outset that this is what I want. So when the relationship is starting, both of you know that this is what you are getting into. So it's all about future from the outset. Like ours, it was all about future from the outset. So
it was all about future. Until now, like I said, we are still discussing the future. You understand? So you guys will never stop discussing the future. So always, and that's one way to know a guy that is actually very serious about you. He's always discussing about your future together. Esther Opola, I have a lot of Esther here, also asks, what's the age difference? What do you think about 8 years gap between the couple?
Okay, for the first time, I'm going to give you an idea.
Yeah.
Ours is more than 8. So
yes. So you can do the calculation. It's more than 8 years difference.
So
I think people are more like, I know someone come to say, are you sure there's, someone actually commented that, how old is this guy gone? Like, he talks older, but he looks younger. I'm like, someone said the way the two of you relate, like, you don't relate like there is any age issue. One thing, and one of the reasons why we don't talk about the age difference between us, because that is never our focus in our marriage. And I made him understand before we began that, yes, I wanted someone older than me, but I always tell him that the respect I give to you as my husband, not as my elder person. Okay, I don't respect you because you're older than me. I respect you because you are my head. You understand? So the age has never been an issue for us, and that's why we don't use certain ways to refer to ourselves, like we say those things to ourselves, but like we don't allow, I don't know, we don't allow it to be too obvious.
It's not a master and subordinate.
Yeah, kind of. It's a partnership.
We are partners.
That's it.
We are partners. So our age is not. Maybe Bible indicated the hierarchy as per the family, but as between the both of us, it's not. It's a marriage, or it's a union of equal partners.
That's it.
We are both bringing what we have into the marriage.
Bring your 100%. And bring my 100%.
So it's not a function of I know it's
Yeah,
an
who's
African
older.
thing.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
I can understand. I can relate
Yeah.
with it too.
Even
but you
people
have
actually,
to-
even my parents, my
Yeah.
mom, she actually tells me that you don't really, just to know that my
You
brother
have to-
calls him my other brother.
Okay, let me it comes to understanding the psychology of a lot of things.
Yeah.
For instance, now I know that there's a generational gap between my wife and I.
Yeah.
So if I stay in that my generation, I
You'll
won't
have
be able to
problem.
deal with her, relate with her in a way that would make sense. So I have to, you get, tone
Yeah.
it down
Yeah.
and all that one. So, and she also can't always stay in her own generational gap. She has to also try and relate with me. So you get, that's where the compromise
exactly.
comes
so
in.
you just
So
have to meet each other halfway.
understanding the psychology of all those things will help you and all that one. So
Yeah.
maybe if the gap wasn't that much, maybe it would be different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also know that in order to bring the best out of this union, there's expectations. There
Yeah.
are ways I have to do it, and God is helping us.
Yeah, yeah. Someone asked before this question that was it a problem for me the age? Ever. Like my husband was literally asking me yesterday that if I was to go back 5 years, would I get married to him again? And I said yes. And I said why? I said, would I go for someone younger? I said no. If anything, I'll go for someone older. I told him age has never been the age.
Who have that? Who have that?
Daddy
issues?
You know, my mom, I was saying my mom calls me when we're dating, it was a struggle. My mom did not understand why in Yoruba, like you use A and O, use O for your mate, you use N for someone older than you. When we talk to ourselves like we are like we are age mates, you understand? My mom was like, I see you're talking to like that. I'm like, yes, it's my husband I'm talking to. You understand? But it's not out of disrespect. It's just an understanding we have that this is the way we relate, with each other. Of course, someone that is age mate, is friends. I don't relate to them like that. You understand? Because I understand that, we are not in the same level, you understand? But he is a different person, okay? And, that's how we choose to relate with ourselves. But today, my mother's day, she's still calling my other brother.
Yeah,
I used to make joke that
we are Africans.
Anyway, don't let me make that joke here.
We are Africans, we are Yoruba people, and you
Yeah.
know the way we are with respect.
Yeah, respect.
So for my family and for our family, you can.
Remember, I used to be worried about your family
Yes,
member,
yes,
even
yes.
his mom.
Yes, and all that. So the kind of the way she can address my siblings in Yoruba and all that, she does that, and it's fine. But me, I won't be comfortable if she's addressing me in that way
Yeah.
before.
I wouldn't
It's going
even
to
be
create a
comfortable.
disconnect. I mean,
Yes.
I can understand in the generations of our parents why they
Yeah.
had to do that, but I can't imagine my wife is now calling me
Daddy wa.
Kile Rupe ma. What's that?
Oh.
You get
Yeah.
it's never gonna work.
Yeah.
So maybe
And that's not the kind of marriage we wanted.
so maybe if her personality, if she was the type that wanted somebody, she would be doing all those things. And I'm the type that wants someone to do that to me. Maybe it will work for us.
As per daddy.
But since our personality makes it easy for us to relate
Yeah.
this way, then it's fine.
I mean,
so
whatever works for you doesn't mean you should relate with
so
your husband or something.
I get surprised when people ask some of those questions.
Yeah,
And
like-
the only reason I'm even making this kind of allusion is because of her. Me, if you like ask me for year till next year, I
She
won't
will
answer.
not answer you. But do you have people who ask me, what's the age difference? I'm gonna be like, what's your business?
Why do you want to know?
What do you
What
want
will
to
you do
know?
for you?
Oh my
What do you want to use the
God.
knowledge for?
Yeah. So I don't know. Age is a number. Like, but at the end of the day, who is it to you? You can someone that is 20 years older than you can still call him, are you okay, ma? You put ma to it. Are you mad, ma? If
You
it's
know?
about ma, and Yoruba, they will respect you and still insult you.
You
So there's
know.
I don't see, those things. Even in my place of work, like if you want to get me upset, call me ma. You understand? Let's talk, okay? All those Borima Bowai. Anyways. Anyways, the next question here is, hi, I love your content so much. What's the age difference? We've already discussed that. Just came to comment that you're beautiful. Thank you so much. What's your take on not having sex but kissing and touching in relation? I think we already talked about that. Do what suits you. Do what suits your beliefs. Don't make
there's a standard.
anybody. Yes, there's a
If you're a
standard.
Christian, there's a biblically
Exactly.
prescribed standard. Do your best to adhere
To
to
adhere
it.
to it, okay? Don't make anybody your standard, okay? So my take does not matter. What do you believe? What is your religion take? What is your own faith? What does it believe in? A big question: do people change for the better? Do people really change from nonchalant about things of God to being very dedicated? What are the red flags to look out for in a long distance relationship? That one is a video I'll do in another one.
People
Well,
change,
obviously.
but you can't change anyone.
Yeah,
It's only God that can change people.
true.
You can influence. You can be the foundation for your partner's change.
You want to change,
But nobody changes except when they are ready.
they want to change.
Or
That's
God changes them.
it. Absolutely.
So first forget that I'm going to change this man.
You're
I'm
not.
going to change this woman. You're lying.
You're not.
You're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah. No, go on. It's still going on, but we need to round up soon.
Okay. You're setting up yourself for huge one at that.
Yeah.
And dissatisfaction. You cannot change anybody. It's only God that can. People must be ready, but you can give them reasons
Yeah,
why they
motivate them.
should change. And the change may come. But that's about
Yeah,
that.
I like that. That's all. Like people need to get to that point. But do people change? Absolutely. Trust
Yes,
me.
everyone can
People
change.
do change.
In
Okay?
fact, nobody stays constant. It's either you're
Constant.
changing for good or you're changing for bad.
Yeah, but you need
Change
to make
is
sure
constant.
that you need to make sure that that person has actually changed, and has decided to change and give you reasons why they want to change. And that reason is not just because of you; it's because they see reasons why they want to change that attitude. Okay, even with the things of God, even
Yes.
from being a cheat to being
Even
a
from
dedicated
normal
person,
things.
and all those
Even-
once a cheat, always a cheat. That's not true. Okay, sometimes
change.
people do change, but you need to make sure that they really want to change, and they make
They
those
see
changes.
reasons to change,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you are seeing the patterns that they are changing. From
The red
all of
flags
that.
and all that, I think we discussed them in our relationship, how we handle that. I mean, in previous video, how we handle distance. So
yeah.
you may
we've
want to
talked
check
about
that out.
those, okay. Still plenty of questions though. How do you know is the one? What is your age gap? I'm your online. Okay, I think we've already answered how you know is the one and age gap.
Okay.
Watching from Kenya. Thank you.
Online in-law.
Your
Interesting.
online in-law. Don't be so.
I did not have a relative in
You
Kenya.
do. You have plenty. Oh. How did your parents react? This story time I've been asking my husband that we should do it. My husband has been the one posting it. Go on. People should hold him in the comment section. He has been the one posting it. But my battery is low. I don't think.
I
Get
love
out. I don't think we can answer that. Maybe we'll do a video now on it. If I'm able to arrest him to be able to do another video.
I love you people.
We'll talk about that later. What do you think about interfaith marriage? This battery is not going to last. Interfaith marriage, particularly between Muslims and
the questions are so much. No.
We're going to do a part 3.
Maybe not today or
Yeah,
something.
but let's quickly answer this before my battery goes
What?
off. What do you think
Interfaith?
about interfaith marriage? I think it's simple. The Bible says that
Can
not be equally yoked, and can two work together except they agree?
Okay. If I want to answer it, there's
It
a
will be
long answer to
okay,
answer.
guys, we'll do a part 3 of this video, but let's
Yes.
end this one here.
Yes.
We'll continue answering your question in another video. Thank you all so much for being so patient and for watching. If you learned anything, leave it in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe to like this video. But until we meet again, my name is still Victoria Ayodele Fash, and this is Wale.
Mr. Wale,
Mr. Wale,
Fash.
Mr. Fash.
Original brand new second hand. No. I'm joking. All right.
Anyways, guys, we're going to see you guys in our next video.
All right. Bye.
Bye.